Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. So this video is just gonna be like a little recap of last year for hobby things, RPGs, and whatnot, as well as a little bit about what I'm looking to do this year with both role playing and with the wargaming. So first of all, this past year I joined my first D&D campaign as a player, which has been a lot of what this channel has been about, and just my experiences with it. And also, I started this channel. I actually started YouTubing and actually participating more on social media, which is a very strange and new thing for me. But I've been enjoying it. Um, and then also, just these past couple of weeks, really started wanting to get back into Warhammer because I realized just how much the hobbying side of it, the building, the painting, and well, even like the sculpting before the painting, because I decided I was going to do a bunch more of that with future models. I didn't want to do any more, whereas just the stock model, unless it's just like a really, really good one. It was just per give it a little bit of extra personality and just getting a little more out of the hobbying side of things. So that's kind of the brief overview of this past year. So, as far as things for 2019, uh, this channel will continue to go like as it has been so far. Gonna start doing a few things to just kind of spruce up the presentation of it a little more. Instead of just having me talking at the webcam as all the thumbnails and whatnot. At least do that much. Get something a little more consistent and snazzy there, because I look at them and I go, man, you look at these thumbnails and you just think I'm like a pretentious twit or something, just like with my facial expressions. At least that's how it comes across for me. Um, so besides that, still going to be involved in the D&D campaign that airs Sunday nights, 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Still going to be playing Shearzim. I have to admit I had considered changing characters, but I think what I would actually like to do is kind of more change his character, his personality. And there's actually a little bit of some changes that have kind of been thrust upon him that I'll be discussing in the recap episode that should be coming out tomorrow. I think one of the things actually that I'd like to accomplish in these 52 weeks of this year in the campaign, maybe actually getting him cured of his vampirism. To admit that that has kind of been one of his big goals, so may as well start working towards it a little more diligently. I think besides that, I'm gonna actually want to try and be a little better about getting the word out on Twitter and whatnot before the game, and even do a little better at just letting everybody know that we have gone live. Something I've done all right with the at least retweeting the announcements that our DM puts out, because I'm actually amazed at how well he can just summarize it in the previous session and lead up in a tweet. It's amazing, but I guess he has to go through several drafts before he gets just the right one. Um, been doing all right with that, but the we are now live, that could do better. Uh, Other things, as far as, because I had been thinking about actually running some RPGs myself. I was actually really looking forward to doing a Doctor Who campaign since I got the book for my birthday. But then I realized that between how this past year has gone with work and some mental health things that have just totally sapped my drive and energy, I'm making some changes in the personal life to try and this year to negate that and take some of that stress off, which also means that I need to dedicate a little more time to getting those changes done. So that kind of takes away a lot of the prep work that would be involved in running even like a short campaign. So if anything, probably the occasional one shot, maybe even run something for the regular group and let our DM actually be involved as a player in that. I'll be discussing that with him a little later. And that's provided he doesn't watch this video first. Who knows? And so there's that. So there's that on the RPG side. So going to continue being part of the D&D campaign and maybe running the occasional one shot, whether that's streamed for people to see or just with friends and whatnot locally. We'll see. I just don't think I have the energy to actually try and run a full campaign, even if it's a short one. As far as other hobbying, I've decided that this year I wanted to become a bit more involved in the wargaming. At the very least, get in more games. I had started attending a weekly War Machine meetup a few months back, but then physical and mental stuff came up, and I just didn't have the energy to get going to that. So I actually like to work on, going to those a little more frequently, getting a game in every now and then, or at least hanging out and discussing the game with the guys. Because it always seems like there's more people than table space at these meetups. It's crazy. And besides that, since I'm also getting back into Warhammer 40k, I'm also going to work on getting more games of those in, getting more games of 40k in, even if it's just with the the Tzeentch army that I built up a couple years ago. Besides that, uh, I have got a bit of a start to my Slaanesh army. I've got the Chosen that are like finished with the building and the sculpting and whatnot. They're just waiting to be primed, and that Space Marine Scout squad that I showed in last week's video about getting the wrong models. Boop. Those are mostly built. I've just been working on getting some more sculpting and whatnot so that make them a little more chaosy and kind of fit with with the Slaanesh army that I'm building up. So there's that. Would also like to get some more terrain projects done, just so I have some more terrain pieces to do wargaming with here at home, at the very least, and maybe even try and get some other people involved with through kill teams, so it's just smaller groups and whatnot. And if any of those steps happen, I'll definitely be talking about it here. So as far as more of the channel goes, there's still going to be recap episodes every week, and whenever I can identify things, more tips and tricks for like D&D Beyond or other things more particular to the role playing and whatnot, still be putting out those. I have a Monday Musing that I'm still needing to edit and put together. I'm gonna come up with a couple more pieces for that video, so got to get that recorded and all that jazz. So those will be coming out every now and then, but the weekly things are mainly gonna be the recap episodes for the D&D sessions, as well as probably some pretty frequent, wargaming updates. So I think that's kind of pretty much the gist of it here. There are some other things that I would really like to do, but they're not really my focus. For right now, one of the things would be making some improvements to the audio quality of these videos. Get something besides this mic. and maybe even like a separate webcam so I can do more than just record stuff with my, with the laptop here. But those are things I would like to do, and that's kind of going to be dependent on if some of these life changes I'm wanting to make this year actually happen soon enough. Um, and then even as far as Kill Team goes, I've been I've even started tossing around the idea of coming up doing like an Imperial Guard kill team, but an all female guard kill team. Imagine that's probably going to cost a little bit because you have to get like conversion bits if you're not going to do the actual sculpting yourself, but just something I've recently started mulling over. Um, and I think that's kind of the the gist of it, the main things. So, what are some things that you're looking to do this year in your hobbies, whether it's the role playing or the wargaming? Because again, that's mainly what this channel is about. Leave that in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time.